discussion is all about shouting. Group discussions में चुप मत रहना. Discussions, make sure that you're talking at least 2 or 3 times to make a mark. If this is what you think about what a group discussion is, I'm sorry to say, then you're not going to make it to the next level. Please make sure to watch this video if you want to know what to do when you have a cabin crew GD. Hi everyone, my name is Twinkle and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to talk everything about a cabin crew group discussion round, keeping in mind the international airlines and to be specific, the Middle East airlines. We are going to be discussing the types of group discussion, what happens in a group discussion, why do these airlines take group discussion, what your recruiters are looking for or looking at during your group discussion round, and also we're going to talk about tips and things that you need to do and things that you absolutely need to avoid during a GD. So if you're interested, stay tuned and watch this video until the end. Before I get into the video, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and if you like the kind of videos I make, then hit the like button and share my videos because it motivates me to make more videos. On that note, let's get into the video. So before I start talking about things that you need to avoid or things that you absolutely need to do, let's first understand what a GD round is. So GD round for a cabin crew interview is basically a group discussion round where a certain number of candidates who have been selected or invited to that round will be given a topic to discuss. It can be either a topic to discuss, it can be role play, a situation, or a group exercise depending upon what the recruiters want to do that day. The GD usually is the second round in an interview. So supposedly you go for the open day, or if you've cleared your video interviews or whatever it is going to be the second round. So the first filtration, the massive filtration has already been done. You will be invited to attend this GD round. Before this, you will most probably be giving the English assessment test. After you clear that, only then will you get the opportunity to be to participate into this group discussion round. Now, what happens in a GD? So in a group discussion rounds, like it happens in most of the airlines in India, they have adopted the traditional way of group discussion wherein you're given a topic, usually which is the current affairs or whatever is happening in the country. To discuss, you might give your views against, for it, or you might choose to stay neutral. But it does not happen the same way for international airlines. Specifically Qatar Airways, if you talk about, no, it doesn't go this way. You may be given a group exercise as a team to perform. You might be given a role play, a situation, or maybe a topic to discuss, and it necessarily does not have to be about current affairs or what is happening in a country. So now, for the next time, whenever you're preparing for a GD round, make sure to keep these things in your mind, that it is not what you say. It is not going to be the topic and what you have given your thoughts about. It can be a lot more things. So prepare yourself for that. Now, why a group discussion round and what are recruiters actually looking for in a group discussion round? So if you break down this word group discussion, group means a number of people and discussion means a certain number of people giving their thoughts and opinions and then arriving to a conclusion, which allows the recruiter to judge you on a lot of traits and aspects if in a given situation with how you perform as a team. So these are the things that the recruiters can notice, can see during just one simple round. First is that the recruiters will be able to observe and then analyze your behavioral traits, meaning how you behave when you're given a situation in front of a team, like a lot of people. They also look at your leadership skills, which is How do you take initiative, if at all, if you take an initiative or not? They take care of your social skills, like how do you feel, how comfortable do you feel in a team when you're put in a situation with a lot of people? How do you perform then? How social are you? They look at your problem solving skills, if at all you're able to come up with solutions or not, and what kind of solutions are you giving, how early do you come at a solution, which also comes under the time management part. If at all you are participating in keeping the time aspect in mind, if you take the charge of keeping the time, are you also giving chances for people to talk or not? How much time are you taking in that activity? All of these things are also looked at. They look at your presence of mind, if you've given alternatives or not. They also look at your listening skills, whether you were able to grasp or you were able to actively listen the guidelines and the instructions, and were you able to inculcate them in the activity or not. And last, they also look at your decision making, if at all you're able to come to a decision as a team, as a part of the team, and not always individually. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this and keep it with you, so that you always have this chart, so that you can remind yourself that these are the things that you need to work on. Apart from it, the group discussion round is a mass elimination tool, which also means that whenever there are a lot of people applying for a position or a job where there are limited number of seats available and only the cream has to be selected, this tool acts as a perfect filter to pick out the best out from the lot. It acts as a benchmark which can help them to choose only the best out of the lot. Therefore, it is very rightly said that if you clear the GD round, as in a cabin crew interview of Qatar Airways especially, it is very easy for you to clear the final rounds, because they're mostly looking at your performance in a team. In a cabin crew job, your focus is on how do you perform, how do you behave in a team as a group, how social are you, more than how you perform individually. So your chances are very high, almost a yes, if you have cleared the GD round. That's how important this round is. Now comes your favorite part. What are the things that the recruiters are looking at when they are watching you? What are the things that you need to keep in mind, and what are the things that you need to absolutely avoid? The first being listen. Listen carefully to all the guidelines and instructions which are given by the interviewer. They are not only looking at your expression, but also looking at your active listening skills, whether you're able to listen and retain it. For example, they give you an activity of which needs to be completed in 6 minutes. If you've heard it, yes, there are a lot of people who've heard this information, but how many people were actually able to alert their group that it has been 6 minutes, or it is going to be this 1 minute is remaining for the exercise to be completed? Things like these needs to be done. If you do this, you actually earn a plus point, a bonus point, because they are actually watching you. Keep this thing in mind, understand this thing. In a cabin crew job, there are a lot of set of rules, guidelines with respect to safety and service that you need to stick. And for a person who cannot listen to guidelines or instructions and forget about following, you cannot even listen and retain and apply it to their daily life, the chances of clearing GD and performing well as a cabin crew are very, very less. So listen carefully, not only to your recruiters, but also when other people are talking. It refers to how much attention do you pay when your team members are talking. Are you respectful or not? So make sure to listen and actively listen. Pay attention to every little thing. It's not about one day, but this is going to be your behavior if you make it to the cabin crew job. This is one thing that you need to inculcate in your personality. You need to make it a part of your personality. Use business English and simple English. Yes, in a group discussion, it is very important for you and your team to communicate really well, and also for the other people to understand what you're saying. So avoid using words like what's up, hey bro, क्या यार, मुझे तो चांस ही नहीं मिल रहा है, अरे these people are just talking अपने आप ही, I'm not able to prove myself, अरे मुझे तो चांस ही नहीं मिला बात करने का. All these things, all these ways of talking, the words you use, how you use it, everything is observed. You have absolutely no idea what the recruiters are actually watching you for. Trust me, when you think that you performed really well, you did everything, but I don't know why, what was the reason that I was not able to clear the GD round. This is the reason that you're not able to clear the GD round, because you're not able to actually think also that what went wrong, because these things are into your personality, they are a part of your personality, and no matter what, you do these things without even knowing that you're actually doing something wrong. So make this a habit. Do not use any words which are not formal, use business English, and on the other hand, use English which is understandable. There's no point that you're putting your point forward and your team is not able to understand it. Well, saying something when the people are not able to understand, you might as well choose to keep quiet, because it is just not solving any purpose. So try and recheck and confirm whether people are able to understand you or not. So use simple words. Don't sit one day before and try to learn very difficult words to make an impression that I will use high 5 words and then I will put it in the GD to make an impression. It doesn't work this way, because the airline you're applying for, in that airline there are international crew from different parts of the world, and their language, their first language is not English. So make sure that you're using simple words, simple statements, and you are watching what you're saying. Be clear and keep a steady pace. Make sure whenever you're adding on to a point or you are saying something in a group discussion, make sure that it makes sense, it is relevant to the topic, and you know what you're saying. When you're talking, make sure to not add a lot of fillers. For example, if you are not prepared, the tendency is that after just saying a few words, you will be thinking for more words to add on in your statement, and your tendency of using I will say this kind of behavior, this tendency will be a lot more, because you're not sure of what you're saying. You haven't thought in the back of your mind of what statement are you going to deliver. Similarly, avoid using a lot of sorries, and it kind of irritates the other people around, because you're using time, you're not putting in your time, you're not giving your opinion, but you're wasting a lot of time, which somehow is irritating the people around you, and it is also consuming a lot of time. And the recruiters can absolutely see that you just want to be seen and you don't actually have anything to say. It is rather better to keep quiet than to be adding nonsense things, nonsense statements which are not making sense at all and which are irrelevant. Also, watch your tone. Make sure that you're not very loud and not very soft and polite. Make sure that you are using a medium tone and your pace is standard. Not very fast, not very slow, medium. Try and practice all of these things before you go to a GD. It is not the content what matters. It is not an MBA or an engineering GD that you're thinking. It is a cabin crew interview. It is not always what you are saying, but how you're saying. They're looking at the things, they're looking at the body language and a lot of other things that you're not even thinking about. And my next topic is exactly body language. So if you've been watching my videos, you know I can't stress enough on body language. You have no idea your tiniest and the smallest of gestures and your expressions are being noticed. So therefore it is very important of how you are looking, not in terms of the makeup and the clothes and your formals, but how you are behaving with your body, what signals are your body is giving, what communication, what non-verbal communication are you doing from your body language. Things like sitting with your crossed arms, touching your hair again and again, slouching and sitting, tapping your feet, things like these are negative body language, shows that you're not interested. Cases when somebody else is talking or your expression says when somebody looks at you, that you're angry and you do not agree. All these things when you're doing, you're not even realizing that you're actually doing it, because nobody has ever told you these things, and you think everything is you're doing is absolutely normal because you haven't noticed yourself or identified these things. So make sure your body language is not exhibiting negative communication. This is very important, that your body language is in sync with what you're saying. If you show that you're interested, if you're talking in the way that you're agreeing with someone, you also have to show this in your body language. You need to look interested as well. When you're talking, doesn't matter when you talk or the other person is talking, you still need to be actively participating in that conversation from your body language as well as from your verbal communication. Basic etiquettes. Now there are a few things, a few habits, a few personality traits that the recruiters are looking at, but these are the things which cannot be a part of your personality overnight, or a few days of training cannot bring these changes. These are a part of your personality because you've been following these things, you have been doing these things unknowingly every day in your daily life. I'm actually going to list down a few things, a few habits that you should try to make a part of your personality and prepare for your next cabin crew interview. If you want, you can also take a screenshot of these. So the first thing that you should absolutely avoid is to interrupt when the other person is talking and trying to give your own point. This is absolutely unacceptable. Rather, you should try to seek permission and then give your point, or you should wait for your turn patiently. Don't always be the speaker. Let other person also talk. Give them equal opportunity to participate. Don't try to dominate or keep your arguments, because this is not going to get you limelight. Instead, keep it short and give everybody a chance to speak, because you are inviting equal participation from everyone. Don't try to give feedbacks and be the leader, because you're not the right person to do this in this situation. And try to avoid words like I don't agree with you, or even try to show this from your personality that you are not agreeing with that person and thinking that you're the only correct person who's talking here. What I will advise you is to encourage others and appreciate them from your body language and also from your verbal language. Don't forget, it is a teamwork, and alone and only you cannot do anything. So make sure that you keep your team with you when you're trying to perform or trying to reach to any conclusion. So make sure that you eliminate the negative sides and only adopt the positive side. Quality versus quantity. Now this one especially is for all those people who were actually asking me that what about if we are not able to have enough ideas, then how should we be visible, how should we contribute in a GD round? Well, my answer to all of you is it doesn't matter. Yes, keeping quiet for some time in a GD or maybe absolutely quiet might not affect you depending on the situation you're in. So focus on not just talking for the sake of talking, but you are giving quality contribution in the group so that you interact, work together and come to a result. Because here the point is not the duration of time you speak or how many times you speak or were you visible or not. Actually, I will want to tell you my own example here because it suits the best. You will be shocked to know that I did not speak at all in my GD. Why? Not because I did not have anything, but I did not get an opportunity to talk. And rather than making my way forcefully into the GD, I rather thought that I should keep my mouth shut and I should not talk, because there were few experienced crew who were actually trying to act over smart, trying to be the leaders, and they had actually made a point that they want to be seen, or they were the only ones who were talking. So there were a few people like myself and 2 or 3 other people who were just opted out to keep quiet, and you will be surprised to know that we were the only ones who made it to the next level, because this is not the kind of people Qatar Airways especially isn't interested in, because these people are not going to give others enough chance as a cabin crew. They will try to be the only leaders on board and not try to work as a team. Their behavior says it all. So please make sure that you keep these things in mind. It is not how many times, but it is how you show yourself. It is your behavior and not what you say at that particular round. Leave an impression and make a mark. But you must be thinking how? Not just by being the only speaker in the GD can make you leave an impression. On the contrary, I'm going to give you 2 examples that you can actually use in your GD to leave an impression. The first one is taking initiative. Well, if you see that the activity requires a time check, that you need to time the activity, or you need to write some points and be the volunteer, please don't hesitate. Volunteer, take the initiative and be the first one to do it. However, if there is any other person doing it, please give them the opportunity. You don't really need to fight on this, but make sure that you are trying to volunteer in these things. Also, make sure if you've taken the responsibility, then do justice. If you're a part of that activity, don't forget that you are supposed to interrupt your team and tell them that we are running behind. We are almost going to get out of time. Second example is try to use names. If you think that there are name tags available and you can actually read the names, please use their names in the activity. This will show the recruiter that you actually give attention to details, and will also show that you have some good manners, as addressing someone by their name is actually very, very professional. So by using these examples, you can make a mark. Or if you have any other examples or any other tips that other people can use in their GD, please put it down in the comment section below and let's discuss it. Let us all benefit from these new ways of leaving an impression. Have fun and keep a pleasant smile always. Yes, keep the atmosphere very light and pleasant, because it's okay if the things you planned in a certain way did not work out for that day or that situation. Don't try to make it a big deal if a few ideas that you discussed did not turn out productive or the way you want it. You being angry or trying to show that you're not agreeing with that is not going to make a difference. Instead, it will just leave a bad experience with you. What I will suggest you is to learn from that experience and enjoy the day. Enjoy, try to learn, and keep that learning experience with you by not repeating those mistakes. So smile. Keep a smile always on your face and enjoy that experience and make it a memory. With that being said, I have come to the end of this video, hoping that this was very useful to you like my other videos have been for you. If at all you feel that you like this video, please do not forget to share it and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on my Instagram, which is my Cruise Scope. I've left the link here and in the description box, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, take care and bye bye.